Sometimes you want to dive into a synth, get in all the little nitty gritty bits, tweak it to exactly how you want it to sound. Other times you want to press one key and try and blow up a planet. That is what today's plugin is all about. So all the bass sounds you just heard were from the tool we're looking at today, and it's the Reese bass plugin. It's essentially a Rumpler from artist Urban Dub. If you don't know who Urban Dub is, he is a producer, DJ, drum and bass artist. He's also, I think, 1/3 of the Kilohertz group. He's been around for a long time. I first heard of him back in like 2011. He's had releases on Technique Recordings, has an awesome studio space, been working with Crafty Cuts, and he's designed and created this plugin entirely by himself. So massive kudos for anyone trying to do that. That is an incredible feat. Now, Urban Dub was very kind in giving me this copy for free, but this is by no means a paid review. Instead, today's video is sponsored by my channel sponsor, which is DistroKid. They let me get my music out to all of the major distributors, and they do that at a price an independent artist can easily afford. If you're ready to get your music or beats out there and want to release an unlimited amount of music each year, check the link in the description below for a discount off of your first year of unlimited distribution with DistroKid. But let's break it down and see what it's like inside Logic. So let's start by breaking down this tool and have a little look at everything available in it. Now, as I said in the intro, Urban Dub has built this himself, which is an incredible feat for someone who is primarily a producer and DJ. My opinion here are the effects are okay, but by no means are they awesome. You could take the effects in your DAW and do a better job. However, to have them in there as a quick and easy access option is actually useful, and he has thought about exactly what's going on with the macro controls. So just having one simple knob control to do your phase, a chorus, etc. is actually really good. And for example, the chorus does a great job in really accentuating the bass, and if you automate it, you can have it so it's like really torn apart and then comes in, and it works well in that regard. So over here, these are our effects. We've got our gain, reverb, delay and time for the reverb, phaser and chorus. This little window here is our selector of our sounds, and this is a sample based Rumpler effectively, with all the sound design coming from Urban Dub. Click on here and we get all of our different options, and we're going to go through some of those in a minute. Sliders in the middle are the ADSR of how those samples then respond. And over on our right hand side here, we've basically got our playback options. Do we want to do poly notes if we're using like the leads, for example, or do we want to go into mono? And then we've got our glide setting, obviously related into the mono aspect more than anything else. Cutoff for the filter type, so we can have filter, none, low pass or high pass. And then a very simple shelving EQ of bass and treble. This was 100% about the sound design, which hopefully you heard at the start is impeccably good. So what we'll do, we'll take our main bass loop here, which is this, and we'll solo it out. So right there, that's our pattern on the clipper reset. Now what I've done in this little section here is layer up a couple of other different sounds. So all together it comes together like this. As you can hear, just the individual does pretty awesome for us. So let's have a flick through some of the other options. By default, we load up on hazard, which is this. What you can hear is we get a big change going from different octaves. We get a really different performance when we jump around the octaves, and that gives us a great effect when everything else is in. So for example, in the second part here, where I really play around with that effect, we get this. Now if we make use of something like the glide and put this into mono, we can really get that ripping up and down kind of sound. touch. And we can utilize the chorus having its macro settings as well. Maybe a touch of reverb. Now we've set those effect settings, the mono and glide. When we actually switch to a new sound, they all do reset. The sound design we've got in here is so incredibly good. Now, awesome basses aren't just the only thing in here. Now, this isn't just the only way to work. What I've done here is taken this bass sound, which is kind of a simple stab, and I've placed the arpeggiator on it from Logic to build. I've layered that up with the clipper bass from before, and also with the pretty awesome bass designs and stabs we've got some leads. So we've got to give us there's a good selection of lead sounds built in here as well. You can see we've got like 13 different lead sounds coming in after all of the basses, a bunch of stab sounds, some pads, and then we've even got and over here we've got a selection of like kick snares, hats, and what I call a bosh, which is just a crash, just put in with a think leap. Look, really a big hard hitting break. So now I'm just going to use this main bass section and we're going to flip through a whole heap of the sounds, because I could only showcase a couple in these examples, so you can get a real idea for the versatility in the bass sounds. want to stop there so you've got some surprises at least left when you pick this up. So all in all, my review for this tool, if you want to make really heavy, ripping, tearing drum and bass, it's basically a must-have. There are so many sounds in it, and the fact that you can get so much versatility by using a couple of octaves up, layering different sounds together, or using one to juxtapose the other for a call and response, it's pretty much going to be unlimited in how many tunes you could get out of this tool. I will say there's a couple of things that are lacking in terms of the overall effects units. Some linking of the effects to the ADSR would be really nice, and one thing, it is quite easy to clip this plugin. I would love the option of a limiter on it or a compressor on the way out. I just think that would be a really great thing, and we'll feed that back and see if it can exist in future versions. But all in all, wicked tool, incredible sound design, and it's got me wanting to make some pretty heavy DnB again. Maybe that's what we'll do next.